What's up? You're listening to Real Laughs right here on Real Radio 104.1. I am Mike Hurley, joined in virtual studio tonight with some of my very good friends. We got Mr. Ken Miller, Miguel Colon Jr., and James John. Gentlemen, how you doing tonight?
Ooh, what up, baby?
Bro, I'm in a good mood, man. We had Tommy Davidson on the show yesterday. We were a legend that was on the phone and actually was nice to us, man.
Nice.
Yeah,
We need to teach him how to work his audio, but other than that,
Tommy Davidson on a flip phone.
Yeah, that audio was popping like turbo.
And that's the funny thing, man. Like, because you'll do shows for however long. What are we on, like 706, 709, 700? Yeah. We're in our 700s now, and like you never know. People listen to the show until all of a sudden the next day, like, oh, y'all had Tommy Davidson on last night. I heard you talking to Tommy. So you listen all the time. You never reach out. But like we get Tommy Davidson on now, all of a sudden you're like, "Come on, be my friend."
And we said it all the time, like, "Hey, let it talk to." Like we talked about this. I think it was Monday. Like somebody sent a message to our IG page. Was like, "Hey, we saw Miguel and he was so nice, and he walked out like Miguel's a serial like Miguel Murders fans."
Yeah, they're like,
"Hey, Miguel, we love you."
He didn't punch us like the stories say on the Twitter.
I saw that. Thanks for being nice to us at where were they? You did some show. Where was that?
I don't remember where the show was.
It was
Wow.
Dang, thanks for being nice to us at the whatever.
Nice to us. You don't even remember the show you did. What?
No. And when I read their message from them, I was like, you could have wrote a better message.
Yeah. Just Steve Buscemi at the end of Billy Madison, where it's like he calls up, "Hey man, really sorry I bullied you all those years in high school. I didn't even think about it." Walks over, cross off the name with lipstick. You probably saved all our lives that night, Miguel. That was probably the guy that had us all on a list, but because you were nice, we all get another chance.
I always laugh when I see that though, Mike. Like I saw Devin the other day, and this lady had posted, "I went to see Devin Sebo. Oh my God, one of the nicest people I've ever met." And I'm always thinking, like, do you think we're like mean? Like every time I see that, like somebody take a picture with a celebrity, oh my God, I just met Idris Elba, the nicest person. Like, did you think Idris is gonna punch you in the face? Like, what?
I want him to be happy they were mean. I want to be like, I just met Mekhi Phife. What a jerk! I loved it. He just threw his drink on my face. Yeah, and I love this guy's great. This guy's great.
Oh man,
nice. Yeah, well, I miss sitting in with you guys Monday and Tuesday. I've been doing some family stuff, but also I think we all got hit a little bit last week. Last Friday, I'm sure you guys probably covered this a little bit. We lost a comedy legend, and that word gets thrown around a lot. But this man truly, rest in peace, Mr. Louie Anderson. And I believe everybody here has at one time met him or talked to him or interacted with him.
And he was your friend, Mike. That's the thing. Compared to like just the comics that other people know, I know that Louie was your friend, man. And you talked very highly of him, and you had great stories about you and him all the time.
Yeah, I fortunate enough to have got to know him and work with him, and like you said, consider him a friend. And it just came as a shock, man, because I think Ken and I were at the Improv. What was it? Thursday or Friday? It was Thursday night. Me, James, Ken were hanging at the Improv, supporting Chris Robinson, who had a great recording of his CD, by the way. Congratulations, shout out to him. But yeah, you just saw the article that Louie was in the hospital with cancer. I just spoke with him like around New Year's for a while. We were talking a lot during the pandemic over the past couple of months. I've kind of been busy, and I just assumed he was busy. I had no idea that he was going through that. And he had just lost his brother about a year and a half ago to the same thing. So I was with him during that. And then, but in your head, you think, okay, we just caught this, just diagnosed it. He's going to beat this because, of course, he is. He's Louie Anderson, but at least we got some time. So I reached out to him that night, didn't respond. And I figured, man, everybody's probably hitting him up right now. And then the next morning, gone. Found out about the cancer. I found out, the public found out about the cancer one day, and the next day it was all over. And man, that made it harder to deal with, I think.
It was such a rough night too, because we had just found out Dexter Angry,
a good friend.
We had just found out that Dexter Angry had passed, and we were like, wow, I think James had told me.
I told you,
and I was just like, Jesus. And then the next morning, I think I had called you for something, Mike, and I called you for something. And then I went to my phone, and the first thing popped up was Louie had passed. Then I called you back to say, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry," because I hadn't seen a story all day. Because it's Friday, so Friday's my day off, so I'm usually sleeping out until like 3 if I can. And I say, "Mike, I'm so sorry," because like that was a friend of yours. Like I knew him. I met him once with Bonkers, and then I met him the second time through the
we were doing some virtual comedy stuff with him.
Thing, and he was such a nice guy. But like, yeah, you know, like Miguel said, a lot of comedians throw up like pictures and stuff. But like you were like, you know, it's the same thing with Dustin. Like you guys were friends.
Yeah.
Like you had his number. You know what I mean? Like, and you could actually text and talk to him. Like, you know what I mean? So
you know, that's something that irked me with Dustin, and it kind of irked me with Louie. I love the fact that if someone passes away, whether they're a celebrity or something else, I love seeing people post their stories and their pictures on Facebook and social media. Like the one time I got to meet Dustin, or the one time I met Louie. And I hate when people come out and go, "Oh, cue everybody posting their pictures with so-and-so." It's like, yeah, man, just, you know, say you don't have a picture with them without saying you don't have a picture with them, but let people grieve in the way they do, man. Like, I'm so happy. Like, I don't mind at all that all these people who trash talk Dustin, that irks me a little bit, actually. The people who trash talk Dustin in his life, all of a sudden he dies and they're posting pictures with him. Yeah, it's like, weren't you nice to him in life like that? Yeah. But at the same time, I'm happy that they're still posting pictures and sharing good memories. I mean, that's how we live on. I mean, we've all seen Coco, right? Isn't that what it's about?
Absolutely.
But it wasn't until that movie that any of us grown men could understand death.
I've never seen Coco,
picture on the mantle. Oh, you're gonna.
It's Spanish Soul.
Ken, you're gonna. But I love when people do that, and I don't think there's anything wrong with people. And some people will say, "Oh, they're trying to share steal the moment or anything." No, man, just let people grieve.
There is no moment in death. It's grief.
That's how comedians grieve. We share the moments that we shared with that person. And I just want to quickly say, Mike, the person, and I won't say the name, who told you that same night posted a pic.
Oh, I saw it.
You saw it? Okay. All right.
But and to tell you how comedians grieve, I had a show that night. I had shows Friday and Saturday at Twisted Root for Bonkers, and I did not want to go. I was feeling so unfunny. I was upset, and I told my mom, I'm like, you know what? It's not that I think I was closer to Louie than, like, say, when Dustin, you know, left and everything like that. But I think after the year I've had with losing my grandfather, losing Dustin, losing my buddy from 20 Penny Circus, Carl Skeens, you know, losing Dexter Angry, losing Eric Myers. For some reason, this one just hit and made all those, you know, when you've been holding it together, you've just been managing to hold it together, but then you get that one, it was the straw that broke, man. And I was done. I just broke down. I didn't want to go on stage at all, but also show must go on, man. You know,
show must go on. Louie probably sitting there like, Mike, you don't get your ass on stage,
right?
That was actually in my head, and I go, and the place is packed out, and I'm like, all right, we're just gonna suffer through. We're gonna struggle through, you know. And I told the host right before my old intro used to be, this guy's Dustin Diamond's road opener when Dustin's not in jail. You know, and then for the past couple of years, it's been like, this guy is Louie Anderson's road opener when Louie comes through, you know, Florida and blah, blah, blah. So I told the host, I'm like, go tell him, go up there and tell him that until recently, very recently, this was Louie Anderson's road opener. And he went up on stage the day that Louie passed away. And Minnie, shout out to you, Roberto Font, went up on stage, said, until recently, this gentleman was Louie Anderson's road opener. And I walked up on stage, and the audience was like cringe, kind of. And I'm like, I told the audience, I'm like, hey guys, a lot of people are talking about how today we lost a great comedian, how we lost a great friend, but not enough people are talking about how much work I lost this year. You know, it was that perfect. And some people were like, oh, and some people were laughed. And I'm like, you know what? Here's the thing. I knew Louie quite well, and somewhere he's laughing his ass off at that joke. Yeah. So then I did a quick toast to Louie, and that was it. Then I had an amazing night, and I don't know how I feel anymore. I was raised Catholic. I kind of got away from organized religion years ago, but I do believe in spirituality, and I truly feel, and this is going to sound corny as hell, I truly feel like he was with me all weekend, just kind of being like, do your thing, man. Because I had 2 amazing nights of comedy that I just haven't had. I haven't felt that good on stage.
Do you think you need like an exorcism? Is he trapped?
No.
Wow.
Hey,
Every time I go to my fridge, my leftovers are gone.
hey, many got about the same size belly as him. You might want to check, make sure he ain't possessed this many.
You
But
know,
I think
God,
Mike just
God
touched on
bless him.
something great though. Mike, it's the whole reason we do comedy. We're not okay as individuals, and I think a lot of us do comedy because it's therapeutic. And I think you getting on stage just help you cope a little bit, man. Help you feel a little bit closer to that individual. I mean, I just think that's what we do.
Yeah, I agree too, man. I mean, I would have felt a lot worse if I just, what was I going to do? Stay home alone and think about it, you know? Yeah. And my dad used to play guitar for years in bars, and then he took a straight job, raised some kids. But he used to tell me, he's like, Mike, he's like, you take something you love and you turn it into your job. Some people will say you'll never work a day in your life. He's like, but what truly happens is you take something you love and you learn to hate it. And he's like, and believe me, some nights it's magic, but it's never going to be the magic you thought it was going to be when you got into it. Some days it's just a job. He's like, I've had to go and play 3 sets, you know, when my throat's killing me, when your mom's, you know, your mom and I are talking about splitting up and stuff like that. You got to go on stage and still be the guy who's happy and having fun and everything else. He's like, on nights like that, it's just blood money, man. And that's what you do.
Yeah.
So, bro, I felt like that, man, when I just did Ocala. I just got over COVID. I'm tired of my set. I just didn't want to be on stage. I walked in there. I had, like, I know Chris and Dwayne hated me because I had attitude the whole night. Like and I wasn't drinking.
And you knew
I was just like, but
Ken is a scary person when he's sober.
Hey,
I'm disgusted by it, honestly.
But the show had to go on, so I do the show. Show was good. Then the next night I come back and same thing. I just don't want to be there, bro. I'm just not in the comedy mood. And I got a lady that would not shut up the whole night, would not stop, to the point where I told you, James, I handed her the mic. I said, "Do you want to come do this? Because you can." The
level you gotta be at. I've done that once, so I know exactly the level of fed upness you've got to when you're just like, "Here, this is about you." It's hard to come back from that move too, man.
And she's like, "You don't want this."
You're right.
And I was like, I just finished my set, and you know, I've been doing the whole month of no drinking and no smoking. I went down to the little speakeasy. I said, bro, I need old fashioned. Because I was on my, like, I was like, if I go back up there, I'm going to knock her ass out. I was that fed up, bro. Like, because I'm not in a comedy mood. Man, I drank that old fashioned. I drove home and I called my wife and I said, I'm so sorry. She said, well, I said I had to drink tonight. I said, I just couldn't. I couldn't even handle tonight. And she's like, all right, we starting over today. So I ain't had a drink since then. So
no, I'm going to give you a mulligan on that one. That one doesn't count.
Days,
You're good.
In 24 days, I had one, bro.
But
it was good.
It stopped me from
sauce,
junkie. He's waiting for you, daddy. Why you want to feel good when you can feel so bad, baby?
Ooh, I like it.
Well, welcome back, guys. It's about time for us to take a break. Don't go anywhere. When we get back, there's some shady stuff going on around the world, and we're going to talk about it right here on Real Laughs 104.1.
Rest in peace, Louie.
Jr. and Ken Miller. Now, guys, this to me is ridiculous. It's coming out of Ireland, because why wouldn't it? They got a case of real life Weekend at Bernie's going on over there. Miguel's already on board with this. I like that. Let me tell you what happened. A gentleman showed up at the pension office to pick up a pension check for someone he claimed to be a family member, and they said, well, we can't just give you the pension check. The gentleman has to be here in person. The guy said, bet. 30 minutes later, he was back with another gentleman, and in between them was the older gentleman, full on with the hat, the derby, and the sunglasses. It didn't take long for the person behind the desk to go, hey, he doesn't seem to be okay. And they said, oh, yeah, he's just, he's
about 15 pints in right now. It's a Tuesday.
So it's a working lunch. Dude, when the guy started pushing, they just dropped the guy and left.
Wow.
And of course, the gentleman turned out to be deceased. So I'm just. Do you guys remember the movies Weekend at Bernie's?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Weekend at Bernie's 2 is so off the wall too. With the voodoo.
With the curse and the voodoo.
Yeah,
You have to, like, let's face it, most Hollywood movies, you have to suspend your disbelief.
yeah,
80s movies, you truly have to suspend your disbelief.
yeah.
I don't know in what
Rocky,
world.
white heavyweight champion. Come on.
Did
Wow.
you think this was? Did you think this was going to work?
It's like, listen, we were a little drunk and we needed some money. So we said, Grandpa died yesterday. What are we gonna do?
That's
Take
the
him to the
part that's
pension office.
scary to me. Is like, where does body come from? Like, what random dead dude did
We
you
found
just
a dead
brought a
dude.
dead? Like, where does body come
No,
from?
it wasn't random. It was the actual guy. Now, I have heard stories before, like where the husband dies, but the wife is collecting his checks, so she just leaves him
that's
dead
on
in the
Unsolved
bed.
Mysteries all the time.
Yeah.
That's like
Where
that's
they just
like
keep
yeah.
taking the checks, and
Yeah.
they never have to see him.
These boys were like, you need a body.
Oh, we got a body.
Oh, you need a
And
body.
you got to think too. This is 70s and 80s, so nobody's going to the house to check. It's
Mhm.
now a lot of now it's more like, look, man, we ain't seen James in 3 months. James done missed mad shows, bro. Hey, but Michelle's still collecting them checks. Now
'Cause
somebody need to go check on James.
Because what you do is you weekend at Bernie James on TikTok. You're like, hey, it's me, James Young, hanging out here like a marionette puppet, and he's getting all decrepit, so like the fingers are falling off.
Hey, you got James on stage. Imagine dragging these nuts.
Arms just fall off because you're holding them.
Dude, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I don't have life insurance because I need my kids to understand that once I'm gone, the money stops coming in. That because I'm like you, Ken. I watch all those crime shows. And I know as soon as someone takes out a life insurance policy, people start dying, falling upstairs. You shoot yourself with a gun you've never owned. You start drinking like radiator
Slipped
fluid
in
and
the shower
stuff
and
like
hung
that.
himself.
Yeah.
Bruh. Hey,
So
Mike,
my
you gotta just get enough to bury you.
Yeah. And nothing
because
else.
If not, we gotta do a GoFundMe. And I don't want to do so.
I'll take him to the pension office in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
This is my buddy Mike Harley here. He's looking there to pick up his check. And you know what happened too?
I've told my eldest before. I got a good 13, 14 years in the Orlando comedy scene. I've done my share of benefits. I'm like, if anything happens to me, know that you might get one, possibly two benefits. Now, let me tell you right now. You go to Ken Miller. He's going to have the cash for you, okay? You don't tell your mother and brother about this money. There's enough for one of you to make a go of it. I can't be supporting everybody, all right? So you take yourself, you run, you tell my story somewhere else. But dude, yeah, they're totally gonna, once they realize I'm done, they're gonna weekend Bernie's me, be playing the CD up there, selling fire watches and everything else.
I'm still thinking about these two Irish dudes because you know it's Ireland. Like in the police interrogation room, he's having a beer with the cop. And he's like, "What can I say? I took a shot." And the cop's like, "Yeah, you took a shot. What are you gonna do?" You know, cheers.
And the other cop is dead too. He hasn't been to work. He's just propped
My
up
partner's
at the
been dead for 6 months. Nobody knows. So you get what I'm saying. I get what you're saying, Kelly.
Can't leave his wife a widow. Yeah.
Just boys being boys, Aisha. Just boys being boys.
Yeah,
So, Miguel-
I change mine every week. Every week, my kids do something. I'm like, I'll take you out of my wheel, right?
Do you hang out on the refrigerator next to the bad artwork, where they stand right now?
I told Google once. I said, "Hey Google, remind me to take Junior out the wheel," and I said like a weird date. This how crazy it was. I think it was like a November 12th or something like that. And then that day, I happened to have my kids. And then I said, Google, what's my calendar for today? And it said, take Junior out of wheel. And he was in the car, but I didn't remember the day. I was like, dang, Dad, really? Like, yeah, you out, cuz. You out.
You out, son.
Oh man.
Player, playboy, partner.
Yeah. Well, this other story, James and I discussed this a bit today on the Lowdown. Check that out on Xfinity, Comcast, Afro Networks. This woman in Texas. Let me save us some time right here. It happens at a Walmart. Okay.
Ooh,
so just so you know, this woman at Walmart, she's got her baby, got her little toddler sitting in her carriage. And this other woman comes up and goes, "What a beautiful blonde hair, blue eyed baby." And she's like, "Oh, thanks." She's like, "I'd like to buy it from you." And the mother laughs like, "Oh, ha 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 ha," like such a compliment. She's like, "No, I have $250,000 in my car. I would like to buy your baby."
No, you don't, ma'am.
Like,
you have a baby.
The woman's like, "Oh no, you're creeping me out now a little bit." And she's like, "Look, I'm only offering this money because I'm taking the baby one way or the other. So you might as well take the $250,000." She then bumped it up to $500,000 and filed the woman into the parking lot.
Bitch.
So obviously the mother ended up calling the cops. They actually arrested this woman for trying to buy the baby and stalking and all these other charges. My question is, Ken, how much would it take?
Oh, for Junior? 500K. I would give
100K would have done it.
Yeah, I can't.
500K would have done it.
Yeah, but Junior, but Junior would be happy. Like, man, I'm like, first, what you gotta have oodles and noodles. If you gotta have Capri Suns. He like mac and cheese and chicken nuggets. The chicken nuggets with the chicken. What is it? The mac and cheese with the chicken strips.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see Junior being like, whoa. First, you're like, I'm not selling my kid. And then Junior's like, Dad, let's not be hasty. Where you live? Let me see a picture of this house.
Is it a gated community? Is it white women there? Because you know he love them. So.
I can imagine me just being in line hearing this and be like, what is going on here? I get you a baby for 125K, lady. You know, cash right now. Don't worry about it. Hey, get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here.
Animal. You animal.
Yeah. Let's just say if you're shopping for babies at Walmart, you're already, if you got
you at a bad place.
Because you know at Target people love their kids. At Walmart, you like 250K and they're like, ooh, yeah. It's like I wait outside a pawn shop for a baby. Like, you pawning that baby? No?
Cash USA. I'm sitting outside Cash USA. Go where we buy gold and jewelry. And
you know what? She buys the baby from me. She buys a baby from him, like, jokes on her. It's a weekend at Bernie's baby. That baby been dead for weeks.
Hey, it's a baby, so you got its fingers on that one.
I just hit an iPhone in there, and it's like,
you just tell the woman, you're like, hey, you can go on any fire department. They got these baby ATMs. You put in the 250 grand.
You'll see me at the baby box with a crowbar. Hey, there's a good chance. I'm gonna tell you straight up. There's a good chance it ain't gonna be blonde hair, blue eye, but it's gonna be a baby in here.
There'll be a baby in there.
These are like those Lego grab packs. You don't know what you're gonna get, but it's gonna be a Lego.
If this box doesn't have one, I know another one. Yeah,
she was so specific. Like she really wanted this
hell yeah,
pure German baby.
Because I mean, if you want another kind of baby, they out there free. You know?
Wow. What about you, James? I know you loved all your babies, but
which one would you sell, James?
What's a good price,
bro? I'm gonna tell you right now on the radio. I would never sell any of my children because I love them dearly. They are precious gifts that I would never get rid of.
Is Michelle in the room?
Yeah. How much would Michelle sell one of the kids for?
She would never sell our children because she loves them.
You know what happened? All four of James' kids will be missing, and James will be like, "Oh, it's so horrible. All my kids are missing. Me and Michelle, we just gonna go to Italy and think about this for a month."
Yeah.
Hey, Mike, I see Michelle in the reflection of James' glasses. I ain't falling for it.
I literally,
I am not. 2 minutes.
We're like, James, would you sell one of your kids? He's like, what makes you think I haven't? You only know the.
He's like, I would never sell one. It's a package.
We potentially had the fifth one just to offset some costs.
You know that
I'd be in there with the 80s jacket full of watches, but it's babies. I'm opening it up like, check it out. I got babies, yo. I got brown babies, black babies, white babies. Unfortunately, I got one blue one. I'll cut you a deal on that one.
I was gonna tell y'all originally that joke I do about having a vasectomy. I had a vasectomy after my 5th kid and had 6.
That's like Amy Schumer had this joke where she was like, my mother drank through all 3 of her pregnancies. She's like, which is weird because I only have a brother.
Yeah. And she got that joke from Patrice. But anyway.
I don't know, man. I just feel like if I said yes to the 500,000, then they're like, okay, let's check out his teeth. No. It's 500,000 sight unseen. All right.
Yeah.
You don't get to go. We're not doing X-rays. There's no lemon law on children.
It's like the auction. You can walk around the baby for a minute and look and see what you see. But other than that, you buying that baby.
That's right. And understand you might have to put some money into it, throw in a pressure cleaning, a deep clean, something like that. Yeah.
Son, dude, you just say a pressure cleaning?
You gotta get that baby right.
You gotta hope, man. When babies are babies, some of that stuff doesn't come off easy, man. You gotta get in there with the little
like,
PSI.
I can get you,
bro. Do you know the PSI?
It's just rip the baby in half.
Cleaner, bro.
Yeah.
And now you got 2 babies.
Dude, that stuff is like tar when you have a newborn. You gotta get it off, man.
I'm like, I get you a baby cheap, man, but the thing is, it's the back end. Are you paying cash or you financing? Because if you finance, I get you that baby cheap, man. But if you pay cash, man, I got to kick it up.
How do you even explain that Cash App transaction to the IRS at the end of the year? What's this $500,000 for baby?
I'll help you out. I'm
Oh, my
saving on
goodness,
the
sir.
child
I'm
tax, so
sweating.
you don't owe me anything.
Yeah. Hey, that's what you
I'll
tell them.
accept
Hey,
it.
man.
I got it.
Y'all keep the child tax credit. I'm good this year.
I'm good,
Mhm.
man.
I'm good
Also,
this year. Matter of fact, I'm good for like 10 years. Y'all
I'm
need a
fine.
child tax credit for 18
Speaking-
years. I made the money.
Speaking of which, I'm that guy that took the, you know how they offered this year to give you some of your child tax credit throughout the
Yeah.
year? Like,
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
oh yeah, so I took it, but now that tax time here, I'm sad I took it because it's already spent. You know, I'm like usually like seeing that big, that big check with 2 kids. Yeah, we're gonna go out. Now I'm just like,
Bro, I tried to turn mine off and I couldn't do it.
really?
It wouldn't
Maybe?
let me. Yeah, I tried.
So they just kept sending it, huh?
Yeah, I'm sending it, bro. I tried to turn it off, but they're like, nah.
So
you
what
gonna
was
take
it?
this.
Because my ex-wife claims the kids on her taxes. So what? So you could just hit
Up
send
to
and they give you-
$3,000 for kids under a certain age and
Mhm.
$3,500 for kids under a certain age.
And they would split it
so
12 months.
and they were giving you half of it like throughout the year, like $500 increments, and then they give you the rest at the end.
James,
of the
all
year.
your kids are 30.
They
Yeah.
are.
How you getting any
They
tax
are, bro.
credit? You're-
Speaking
I
of,
had
speaking of
one
which,
last one, baby. I had
we-
Isaiah.
we got a couple of minutes left this segment. Ken, I hate doing taxes, man. I hate. But I do itemize deduction everything for comedy expense and everything else.
Yeah.
Which makes it really hard because IRS like 2 years ago was like, really? You were the only comedian that drove 33,000 miles during the pandemic? Yep, that was me.
Yep,
I was
too.
the only working comic. That was me.
was
So is there anything like any tips you can give me that you claim that I'm not thinking of? Like anything that you claim
Bro,
as
I
an
have an
expense?
actual. We actually went to a tax guy.
Yeah?
Me and my wife actually found a really
Ooh,
good
y'all-
tax guy.
I might have to
Three
get that
fifty.
number.
Bougie.
He $350 in the first couple of years, bro. We were doing good because the business wasn't doing good. But now that Preppy Socialite's doing good,
That's how to get you.
yeah.
Right.
it's
I gotta
starting to
tell
hit
you,
us.
man, I've been doing the guy who did my taxes for years used to be my bouncer. Then he went to Stetson and got his degree in finance, and he became a accountant. So he used to do all my taxes for me. Unfortunately, he passed away a few years back, so I had to do my own taxes, and I've been doing my own taxes ever since. And now, Tax Act that I use, give me a check, Tax Act. I said your name. Tax Act that I use is this final thing where, like, for $75, we'll be the buffer between you and the IRS. I mean, if the IRS wants to talk to you, they gotta talk to us, and then we'll talk to you. And I'm like, that's worth $75 every
It's
time.
always, yeah. When I used to do my own taxes, I always pay for that audit insurance.
Yeah,
My accountant's dope. I use David Cole 407-443-2150. The man, big ass man when it comes to entertainment taxes. The man,
Nice.
the man will keep you legal. He will
Yeah.
keep you legal, but he
Yep.
will get you as close as you can legally get.
That was
clip.
my accountant too. He's like, what we want to do is keep those red flags down.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
like,
David Cole. I even
It's
said
all
to the meme. I said the Thelma and Louise meme when we first put in our taxes, my taxes, because like me and you together, baby. Me and you together.
Well, guys, we got to take a quick break here on Real Laughs. When we get back, we're going to be diving into hard habits that are so hard to break. Stay tuned right here on Real Laughs 104.1.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Yeah. Folks, you're still listening to Real Laughs right here on Real Radio 104.1. I'm Mike Hurley, joined in virtual studio with Miguel Colon Jr., James John, and the godfather of Orlando comedy, Mr. Ken Miller.
We got
Now,
the
guys,
baby sale.
before the break, and I'm glad you're going through this, Ken. We talked a little bit about it yesterday. You brought it up kind of a little bit today. A lot of people have already given up on their New Year's resolutions. My resolution was to get better at social media and go back to the gym. And I got to tell you, I haven't been to Planet Fitness since before the pandemic. I would like to blame the pandemic, but I never stopped paying that $20 a month because I want to keep the keychain. That way I feel like maybe there's a chance, but I know I got to get in there eventually. A lot of people have already given up on their New Year's resolutions. You know, they start off big. They try to go with cold turkey. You went 24 days without a drink, right? You had one.
Yeah.
Right?
I did. So I went 14 days. Actually 15 because I didn't drink on New Year's Eve. So 15 days. I had a drink on 16 days. January 15th, I had a drink. And then I said, okay, I'm good. I'm not gonna drink again. So now we're going on a week since I've had a drink. So
And
in the 30 out of the 31 days, one day I slipped up.
Right.
And you didn't feel good about it, right? That's one of the main
I
things.
didn't, because I really wanted to. It's like, man, I got a month. I'm really not going to drink. Like, I really just didn't, and it wasn't because I'm an alcoholic or anything. I really just got like crazy issues with acid reflux and indigestion, and alcohol and soda are like some of the main things that act like I can't eat a steak. Like, if I eat a steak, I can't swallow. And I'm spending an hour trying to get this steak to go down, and
you swell up. Do you swell up and stuff too with it?
No, it just gets stuck. Like, if I'm eating something, it gets stuck in my throat because the reflux is pushing it back up. So I have to drink water to push it down. But if it don't push down, you know where it's coming. And you know what I mean? So, but since I stopped, bro, I've been good with the reflux.
It's sad that we're at this age, man, because I used to watch commercials about like Tums and stuff like that. I'm like, just suck it up, heartburn, indigestion, everything else. And now I have full-on conversations with friends about like, yeah, man, if I have pizza after like 11:30 at night, I'm going to wake up in the middle of the night, but I'm too tired to go do anything about it. So what I do is I prop myself sitting up so that all the acid reflux, it's going to have to work to come up. And I try to fall asleep sitting up. I'm old, man. It hurts. I used to be able to, at the end of a bar shift, do off the mat shots. Miguel, you ever do the off the
the gross.
I know exactly what that is.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know what an off the mat shot is, there's the little rubber mats by the service bar or by the well in general, where the bartender bills your drinks, and throughout the course of the night, alcohol will get spilled into that mat. So there's something really disgusting called off the mat, where you just dump that all into a shot glass. And usually the guy who's begging you for a drink after last call, everybody's been kicked out, you're like, man, if you really need it, I'll give you an off the mat shot. And you'd be surprised how many people will do it. And I've done a couple in my time. The worst part is when you work in a bar restaurant, because you get sour cream, salsa, everything on those mats. It's disgusting. I used to be able to do those and still function. And now, man, I think the other night I was at the Improv. I maybe had a Miller Lite, and then Ken bought me a Jameson, and I paid for it I'm still paying for it 3 days later.
I'm going to tell you this. The problem with me now is my hangover the next day isn't like a debilitating hangover as much as it is. I lack, or what is it? Like, I just don't
motivation.
care. It takes all the motivation out of me. All I want to do is nothing when I'm hungover now. And I remember waking up and being like, "Oof, I'm hungover. Pound a Red Bull, take a shower. It's time to work a double." And now I'm like, I'm hungover. I'm canceling the show. I'm spending $75 on Uber Eats because I don't want to walk outside. The hangovers now just beat me. They beat me down.
Beat you up, bro.
Exactly
Dude. And I used to be, Monday night at the other bar. I used to be able, I'm done. I'm like, and then I'm at work at 5 o'clock in the morning. Bruh, if I get drunk now, I'm like, hey, man, look, I can't make it. They're like, bro, you work from home. I said, I know. I'm
the computer's all the way over there.
Bro, I'm just not. Or I'm logging in, and I'm like, barely like work, like I'm laying down for like 30 minutes, and then I got my laptop turned up loud, so if somebody bings me, I'm like, I was here the whole time. I was just here. I was here. Yeah.
See, I think I kind of lucked out. Addiction's a big thing in my family. I mean, being Irish Italian, to come from a big family of drinkers, smokers. I have very close people in my family with drug addictions. And I'm not saying I didn't do any of that, because I had my days where I experimented with everything, but I was always able, like, I never needed it. It was always something that, like, even alcohol now, I'll go weeks without having a drink and not even think about it until I'm like, maybe I'll have a beer. I never drink at home. I never have alcohol in the house.
Months without actually drinking, man.
Yeah. It doesn't make me. And then I meet people, and I know people and have family members who need. We have comedian friends who wake up and they finish the beer on their nightstand that they passed out drinking last night, because they need to keep that going. I always feel not bad for them, but wonder how you get through life like that. And I thought I was in the clear, because I'm like, man, I don't have an addictive personality. But then I realized a couple of years back, when I tried to start losing weight, I'm addicted to junk food. Like, I don't even like the taste of it. I know. And I think that's the true mark of addiction. When you know that you don't even like it anymore, but your body still craves it.
I didn't know that about you, Mike. What is your junk food of choice?
I hate fast food restaurants, man. I hate
go all the time,
burgers.
right? Yeah.
And you know what it is? It's out of convenience, though. Yeah,
it's what it comes down to, man.
It's out of convenience, because it's always, we'll look up like, oh man, we still haven't gone to lunch. I mean, you want to grab something? Yeah, we're gonna grab. Checkers, McDonald's, Burger King, because it's right around us and it's relatively. Now I can't even say it's relatively cheap anymore.
It's not cheap anymore.
It's $10.
Yeah, Checkers, number one, you're paying $11. You know, like
it's just you didn't have to cook it and you can get it.
That's what it is. Like the stuff I learned to cook is the same stuff I've been cooking since I was 8. Like my kids love me because I do a good mac and cheese, you know, and I can do like anything that's from almost like restaurant days. If it comes from a frozen source to a heat source, I can take care of that.
Mike's fridge is full of Cisco products just sitting
pretty
in
much.
there.
I got it all, man. So that's something I gotta learn. And yeah, part of it's convenience and part of it's just like I don't have the time to food prep like I should. So Miguel, was there ever anything like, I know Ken's going through, I guess before I move on, Ken, what's been the hardest part for you? Do you have the cravings or did you replace it with something?
Dude, yeah, coffee. Like I've been drinking coffee. I know James, the coffee guy. James,
I don't know. I don't know if people notice I've been drinking a lot more coffee at work because I got rid of that habit.
Because I used to only drink coffee at work because we were going to break room. I would get a cup of coffee, 3 sips. It's been sitting on my desk for 8 hours. Like I don't even drink it. But now we got this Keurig thing, and I'm drinking like 2 or 3 cups of coffee a day. And but I didn't drink coffee before. But no, I don't. I honestly don't miss it. Like when we're hanging, like when we were hanging Thursday, I was like, man, it'd be cool to have a drink and clown. But we were having so much fun
without it.
I was like, I honestly didn't even miss it. I really don't miss it at all, man. At all.
What about you, Miguel? You ever have to deal with any type of addiction? Or are you pretty?
Yeah, I know that I have a subconscious problem with beverages of any kind. Like, and it's not that I'm thirsty, but it's like I want a soda, diet soda, regular soda, whatever. And it's like it's not just the sugar thing because I'll do a diet soda, but I'll notice like when I'm having a meal, I'll have 2 sodas with the meal, even though I'm like filling up and I'm like, I'm kind of full, but I just feel like every bite or everything I need to have a soda, you know?
Do you ever get like that? Like I go out to eat a lot, and the people I go with, like I'll be through my first Coke before our food even hits
all
the
the
table.
Time. Every time,
and
Mike.
Then
every
the
time.
server will look at me and be like, "Hey, do you want another Coke?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'd love another Coke." Then they'll get me another one. I'll go through that one, and there's like an embarrassment point where they come and go another Coke. And I'm like, "Oh, let me get a water," but I really want another Coke.
Like, I'll have 4 Cokes in like a 2-hour. If we're having like a luncheon meeting or something,
and they're like 160 calories a pop.
Yeah, and even if it's diet, because I like diet sodas too, but I'm like, why am I drinking? And it's not that I'm thirsty, because if there's no beverage around, I'm fine. You know, okay, not this. And if you give me like a water, I'll pound the water too. I just feel like I have something about having and I notice in my car when I'm driving, I always got like a thermos with the water. I'm always drinking it. And I wish I would just say, okay, if I'm going to do this, let me just drink water. But there is something about having a like soda, even if I drink mostly diet sodas, but it's still something about having a soda with a meal that mentally, the minute the soda comes, I'm just drinking it. I am that guy, Mike. The second soda when everybody's hasn't finished their first.
Yep.
Go ahead, James. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say, when we go out to like the ale house, you'll notice I'll drink 3 or 4 sodas.
Yeah, me and James together, man. Like I've noticed together, and I'm more comfortable, James. I'm more comfortable when I'm with you. When I'm with you, I'm like, okay, cool. I'm like, cool. Nobody's judging here.
And you know what's funny? Like my doctor told me, he's like, you need to drink more water. He's like, that will help you with everything. It will help you with your weight. It will help you skin and everything else. I'm like, okay. I'm like, here's the thing about water. The only time I drink water is when I'm performing. I need a bottle of water before I go up on stage. So I'm like, well, if I'm going to drink more water, you need to become my booking agent and get me a lot more gigs. I need to get 5 shows a day to drink 32 ounces.
Mike, this is the key to that. Because Sean was the same way. Sean will not drink water. You know what I had to do? Nope.
Really?
I bought her these little small mini water bottles. This is the only way I can get my wife to drink water, because she'll finish this whole bottle. She'll drink like 8 of these a day. If I get her the tall bottle, she drinks half of it, and then it's like half bottled waters all over the house. But for some reason, these little tiny water bottles, my wife would drink the amount of water she's supposed to drink daily out of.
Ken, you know what's funny?
Dude, like it's like you're done.
Yeah,
and you're done.
Ken, you know what's funny? When we're having an event at the Sausage Castle, especially in the summer, the event might go from 10 a.m. to like 5, 6 a.m. And then we're back at it the next day, 10 a.m. to 5, 6, and it's 3 days in a row. And I learned this from my father. I will literally roll up to the guys working for us because there's usually only a staff of about 6. And I will throw them a water bottle. I'm like, drink it. And they're like, I don't need to drink. I'm like, drink the bottle in front of me now.
The drill sergeants, bro, drink that water.
My dad told me that. He's like, oh, yeah, keep your people drinking water. I was like, really? He's like, keep people drinking water. So I will roll up to my guys on a golf cart. They're in the middle of something. And I'm like, everybody finish the bottle. And they're like, I'm like, finish the bottle in front of me right now. Because what's happened before is I've done these events with guys. They've worked all day. And then next thing you know, they're cramping up. They're peeing dark, everything because they're dehydrated. And men don't want to admit they're dehydrated.
Nope.
For men, that's like a sissy thing. I'm not dehydrated.
I'm good. Yeah.
But what happens is they'll have 2 or 3 sodas during the day. They'll have a couple beers or everything. And they're out all day working in that sun. And they're dehydrated, and then they're worthless to me. So it has nothing to do with my love of them. I just need to keep these things moving.
And then you drink too fast, and that's a whole different issue. Yeah. Now, James, we got just a couple minutes left, but I wanted to say, man, you're currently overcoming a habit, right?
Yes, I am.
And how?
I don't want to ruin it, but yes,
James, you haven't bought heroin from me in weeks, and
I have not. Thank you so much.
I'm dying out here.
Amazingly, coffee is the answer for that. Who knew? You need to get off heroin, just drink more coffee. Yeah, get yourself a latte. Well, guys, I wish you continued success because everybody seems to be doing well with it. We got just a minute or two here. Real quick, Ken, where are you going to be at this weekend, man?
I am chilling this weekend. Junior is turning 22 years old, so I'm going to hang out with my baby.
Dang. You taking him out?
Yeah, we're gonna not drinking. We just gonna go get something to eat, and then we might go to main event by the Improv. I'm gonna have the girls with me too, so I gotta find something like baby girl friendly too.
Miguel, what you got going on this weekend, man?
Nothing this weekend. I might go see Tommy Davidson or go out to Gasparilla, but February 20th, I'm doing a show at the Orlando Improv. It's me, Morgan Gallo, Marcus Crespo, Jeff Kaufman, Dwayne Williams, and Sean Madden. Tickets are available at orlandoimprov.com. And The Godfather might be coming through, doing a little hot three for the streets.
Boom, boom. I like it.
German style.
Mr. Jan, where you at this weekend? What you got going on, man?
This weekend, I don't have anything planned, but I'm going to try to come out and support Mr. Tommy Davidson because he was kind enough to come on Real Lives.
Good. Yeah, if you're listening right now, I am already crushing it at the Barley and Vine Beer Garden over there in the Milk District. So swing on by. You can probably still catch some of that show. Other than that, I'm probably going to see you guys over at Tommy Davidson. I checked him out when he came through, and Ken featured for him. What was that, last year or the year before?
Yeah, I think it was either last September.
Yep. And you know, Tommy's one of those guys, man. Tommy is just one of those guys that, like, we talk a lot about celebrities who happen to do stand-up comedy. And Tommy, he talked about in the interview yesterday, you can tell the difference when it's a guy who was a comedian then became a celebrity, because that guy still brings it, man. He's still hilarious. It's a great show.
He's so funny.
We thank you so much for listening tonight. If you want, go on over to the iHeart app. You can catch this show, all our shows. Also, Ken Miller has taken it upon himself to bring the YouTube channel back to life. So we're going to have clips. We got Tommy Davidson's interview. That's going to be up there. You guys had who? The polar bear the other day?
We posted polar bear on there.
Yeah, check that out.
You'll get the clips on our Instagram and Facebook, but you get the full show on our YouTube.
That's it. Otherwise, check us out on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, and check us all out on TikTok, because they don't want to admit, but we got a little competition going to see who's getting the most followers. And right now, Ken's winning. He doesn't really deserve to be. It should have been me, but whatever. We'll talk about that later. Okay, thanks for tuning in to Real Laughs. And on behalf of myself, Mike Curley, James Young, Miguel Colon Jr., and Ken Miller, we'll talk to you next week. Good night.